What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have a really exciting video for you guys today. As you can see, I have both my cars parked outside today enjoying this beautiful weather. This is my 2018 Audi B9 S5 and my 2004 BMW 325i convertible. And in this video, I just wanted to give you guys a general garage update. I think this is the first time that these cars have actually been in a video together. And I know the S5 is long overdue for an update. It's been a little while since I made some content on this car. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. And so hopping right in, as I already said, this is my 2018 Audi B9 S5. I've owned this car for around a year and a half. I bought it in February of 2022. If you guys are regular viewers of the channel, you'll notice that not much has changed with this car. I've just been enjoying it kind of for the way it is. I've loved every second of ownership with this car. And I've done a modification video on pretty much anything that you see kind of visually or performance wise. So if you're interested to see the install or my opinions on that product, please feel free to search my channel. And so a couple of the quick highlights of the car, still have the VMR V802 wheels on there. They are 19 by 9.5 ET35. I've had a couple people ask me the specs of the wheels in some comments, so I figured I'd address that again. And as you can see, it's a Daytona gray pearl effect. I absolutely love the color of this car. If we kind of come in a little bit closer, since the car is really clean, you can see, hopefully that picks up on camera, there's a lot of great sparkle in the paint, so it really pops in this summer, in the summer sun here. And moving around to the front of the car, as you probably have seen if you're a regular viewer, I plasti dipped the lower kind of chrome section on this car. I actually really like the way that turned out. It's been holding up very well over time, and it just kind of eliminates a little bit too much chrome that I think this car has, so really liking the way that's turned out. And so under the hood of my S5 here, we'll go ahead and pop it up here. I have the CTS Turbo cold air intake and as well as the VPS front resonator delete kit for the exhaust. If you follow my channel again for a little bit of time, you guys have noticed that I've talked about the rocker arms on this car. I know that the early 2018 cars have been popping up in Facebook groups and on the forums with failing rocker arms, which can lead to pretty catastrophic engine failure. I still do believe that the rocker arm issue is very rare and affects a very small amount of cars, so it shouldn't deter you from buying a quote-unquote early 2018 or 2019 B9, S4, or S5. I think as long as you keep up with the maintenance and change the oil frequently and just stay on top of things in terms of mechanics with this car, I think you should be good for the long term. And so hopping in the S5 quickly, you can see the interior has held up very well over time. I've said this is a prestige trim many times, so you can see I have the full quilted leather, the flat bottom steering wheel with the S Sport package, the carbon Atlas inlays on the door and on the dashboard. And I would say, especially with these new, 340i's and the new C-Class that has come out, I still think the interior of the B9 is aged very well. Obviously, you have the full virtual cockpit right there. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I just love the layout. It doesn't kind of stick out with too many screens. It's very well organized, and everything falls very easy to the touch. So we'll go ahead and start up the S5. Sorry, the steering wheel's in the way, but I'll go ahead and put my foot on the brake and focus real quick and then hit the button. Get the steering wheel straight here so you guys can see, cancel out some of the beeping there. And as I said before, this is the 12.3-inch Audi virtual cockpit. On my personal car, we'll go ahead and scroll. I do want to mention to you guys, I have 44,753 miles. And so giving you guys a quick view of the virtual cockpit, you can see, scroll through the various menus. I've done a full tour video on the technology in this car, so I won't bore you guys too much, but looking around the rest of the cabin, this is the 8.5-inch, I believe, multimedia display, MMI display. It's a little more dated, obviously. It's not the most up-to-date, but like I said in the previous clip, I still think it aged very well. It still has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It's very easy to use. But I'll go ahead and put the car into dynamic mode here. It'll open up the valves and the exhaust, give it a few revs, and I'll put the camera behind the car in a second. So as you guys probably heard, this car sounds absolutely amazing, especially with the VPS front resonator delete kit. If you guys have also followed my channel for a little while longer, you would have known that I had an issue with the VPS kit. The clamps that were provided with the kit were very cheap quality and actually started to rust a little bit. So I had a bit of a squeaking sound between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. I had the shop that installed the kit do a quick fix on it, and it's held up very well over time. But I will say, if you do order this kit, make sure to get a set of factory clamps. They will work with this kit, and to not use the ones that were provided. But we'll go ahead and shut the car off here and hop outside. And the only other issue that I've had with this car, the window regulator on the driver's side here actually went out. I had that replaced for I think $460 or something like that. I haven't heard of it being a kind of a common occurrence, so I guess my car was a one-off, but that about sums it up with this car, guys. I really enjoyed this car. If you have any questions on sort of the modifications and anything else that I've done, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments, but just wanted to give you guys a quick update to tell you guys that the S5 is still doing great. I'm still loving this car. So if we go ahead and step over to the newest addition to the garage, this is my 2004 BMW E46 325i convertible. I went and bought this car back in June of 2023. I believe it was the cheapest running and driving convertible BMW E46, at least that I saw for sale. It is a clean title. It is a steel blue over a tan leather interior. I love the spec of this car. I've already done a full tour and test drive video of this car, so if you guys are interested, please feel free to check those out on my channel as well. But it is a LCI, so it has the HID headlights, the sport package as well, so you can see those very nice 5-spoke wheels. And coming to the interior, I love the way this kind of color shows up on camera and in person. It just glistens in the sun. It's got the beautiful wood interior, the Sony head unit with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And in my full tour video, I've already showed you guys, this car is obviously not perfect. It's got some scratches, it's got some dents. The curb rash on the wheels is pretty bad, but overall, as you can see, kind of from 5-10 feet away, this car is beautiful, especially for being a 20-year-old car with 178,000 miles. So let's go ahead and hop in the E46 real quick. And one of the coolest sounds with this car is actually what you just heard, the door opening and closing. Sounds so solid. Sounds like a bank vault, honestly. I love that. It really kind of reminds me of a mini G-Wagon or something like that. But as you can see, this beautiful tan interior, the armrest has held up really well over time, still very soft. The wood is a bit cracked, obviously. I guess the sun might have done that over time. And the seats are not perfect. Like I've said in my previous videos, they do have some wear, some staining, some rips in the stitching, but they still hold you very well. They are the sports seats, so they do provide a little bit more support, I guess, over the base seats. And this button still works, obviously, to get into the rear. So let's go ahead and just put this car in accessory mode first. We'll put the key in the ignition. I know, don't really say that anymore, but I love this old school BMW key. As the power turns on here, you can see the Sony head unit, like I said, with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It is not wireless, it is wired, but you can see the previous owner installed the USB outlet there. Ice cold air conditioning, as I said already, 178,319 miles. But now we can go ahead and start the car up, so we'll just turn the key. It starts up perfectly, holds idle very well, won't overheat. It's just an amazing engine. So under the hood of the 325 E46, this is the M54 BMW engine. It has 182 horsepower in the 325 and I think 220-ish in the 330. Very, very reliable engine. And also a lot of the weakness points of these M54 motors has been addressed by the previous owner. So the cooling system has been refreshed with new parts. The AC condenser has been refreshed. A lot of the various hoses and pipes and everything like that have been refreshed as well. So this thing is in very good shape. The only thing that I've kind of noticed over time, I think this does have a bit of a pulley squeak. It's a little bit difficult to hear. There it is. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to hear, and it really only does it on cold starts. I think one of the pulleys or the idler tension or something like that is going out, so I'll have to look into replacing that or at least diagnosing that as the actual issue, but it doesn't affect the drivability of this car at all. But outside of that, we'll go ahead and shut the 325 off here and conclude the video. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick garage update video on both the cars here. And in terms of plans for each of these cars, as you can probably tell, the 325 was more of a summer car, something to enjoy with the top down in this beautiful weather. I'm not sure how much longer I'll keep this car. I do really enjoy it being sort of more of a daily driver, even though the S5 does that perfectly. So I'll kind of keep enjoying it and driving it and see how it treats me. And if someone comes around and wants to buy it, obviously we can talk about that at that point. So in terms of the S5, you know, I'm not really sure what the long-term plans with this car are. I've kind of done everything that I'd like to do to this thing. I know you can go crazy with, you know, a big turbo and lower it and everything like that and make it very fast, but I think that this car is plenty capable as is, and there are a lot of great other options out there on the market that I'd like to try. So while the car is not actually for sale at the moment, you know, in the short term, I'm going to keep driving it and enjoying it. But if something pops up that I'd like to try, you know, I would sell the S5 for it. But in the short term, like I said, the car's here and I love it and I love driving it. But other than that, guys, that kind of concludes the garage update video. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe for a lot of great content coming soon on both these cars as well as many others. And I'll catch you in the next one.